Hi, this is Katie with the astrology for the week, and it is a very powerful week this week. We're heading into the summer solstice, which is the peak of the solar light. And we also have the full moon in Capricorn on Saturday night. So this week we're reaching the peak of the solar and lunar light, which is all about profound growth, revelations, and profound insights into the nature of reality. Energies are very heightened. Now, we're beginning the week with some interesting aspects. Mercury Kazami, which is Mercury conjunct the Sun. Now, Mercury is the divine messenger. It's the closest planet to the Sun. And when it gets exactly conjunct the Sun, this is a time for deep insights, heightened mental activity, thoughts, ideas, intuitions. Your mind may be more active than usual, and also you may be able to see deeper into problems and life situations at this time. We're also beginning the week with the remnants of the Mars-Pluto square that was dominating last week. Now, this has been a very tough energy where Mars and Pluto square each other. There can be a lot of anger and aggression. There can be a lot of heaviness, feeling blocked, feeling like you don't know which way to move, or there's too many problems bearing down on you and you don't know which one to deal with first, or like things may be out of your control, things that you're forced to deal with which may be out of your control. So it's been that kind of energy, and I know a lot of people have been feeling that. Thankfully, this aspect is now lessening in intensity, and by Wednesday that will be moving out of orb. We're also beginning the week with a Neptune square. So Neptune is squaring Mercury and Venus in Cancer. They just entered Cancer today, Monday. Now, with Mercury and Venus in Cancer, this is all about sensitivity. We're getting into the Cancer energy. We're about to enter the Cancer season, and it's all about sensitivity, nurturing, the emotional realms. When Mercury is in Cancer, communications tend to be more heart-centered and sensitive. With Venus in Cancer, it can be a very romantic time. It can be a nice time for relationships. Also, conversely, people can be more touchy than usual because Cancer is known for being a very touchy sign. It's all about emotions. People might get triggered more than usual. People who aren't normally very in touch with their emotions will start to feel things, and they'll start to go into their triggers. So it's a time to be aware of others, be aware of others' feelings, and be aware also that people in your life may be more receptive on a feeling and emotional level if you want to communicate something from the heart. So Venus and Mercury are in a square to Neptune, and this square from Neptune is going to be dominating the whole week. Now, Neptune is a planet of very high spiritual energy. It's about high ideals. It's about the energy of healing and meditation. It's about connection to spirit. And many people, if they're not really connected, they might not connect to Neptune in their daily life in the same way. It depends whether you consciously work with energy, you're a healer, you meditate, you're consciously connecting to these energies, then you can work with the positive energies of Neptune. On the mundane level, it can also be about addictions, illusions, things not being what they seem, false promises, false light, actually. So these are all things that we should guard against this week while we have a square to Neptune, because that's a challenging aspect. So it's telling us to see clearly and look through any possible illusions in your life, anything where you've had your hopes up for something but it's not quite what it seems, or people making promises to you, the promises of outcomes and events that may not be what they seem. So it's time to be very grounded and ask for clear perception and see what's really right for you. Now, we're beginning the week, the moon is entering Scorpio on Monday. It's just gone into Scorpio, and it's a waxing gibbous moon building up to this very powerful full moon at the end of the week. So with the waxing gibbous moon in Scorpio, it's like energies are building. It's a good time to build and grow things, but with Scorpio moon tends to make us focus on deeper emotions, or emotions that we've hidden away, and taboo subjects, deeper issues. So don't be surprised if you feel like you may be dwelling on those type of things more than usual. We've had this very heavy energy all of last week, and now we have the waxing moon in Scorpio. So it's going to reveal those deeper emotions and things that maybe you'd pushed down and suppressed. So it's actually a great opportunity to see what needs healing and releasing as we build to the peak of the solar light. Now, the waxing moon, as we build up to this very powerful peak of energy, it's all about growing and building, and this is a universal 8-year, so it's a year of manifestation. It's a year where you will see the results of your actions and the paths you've taken over the last 8 years, actually. So it's a year when people talk about an 8-year being a money year. Yes, it is possible to make money this year if that's where your actions have led you. It's a year of reaping the results of your efforts, like a harvest. So that could be positive or negative, depending on what you've been building and where you've been consciously working towards in your life. So there's a very powerful energy of manifestation around at the moment. And take a look at what you are building and what's strong in that. What do you want to continue, and what do you need to let go of, or perhaps take a slightly different path, because there's nothing wrong in seeing that maybe the path you're on wasn't quite right and you need to change it slightly, because that's life, isn't it? We're always taking different paths, we're always quantum jumping from one moment to the next. We're changing our reality. So it's always about bringing your consciousness back to the present moment and being as conscious as you possibly can. So we're getting into this Cancer energy, the moon in Scorpio, and then the moon is going into Sagittarius on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, we're going to get into a more flamboyant energy, a more fiery energy. We'll feel hopeful and optimistic. And with the moon almost full, this is actually a really powerful time to expand your boundaries, get out there, meet new people, make things happen, extend your comfort zone, do things you might not have thought you would do. Surprise yourself with this energy, and it could really take you somewhere very positive. It's an energy of hope, which is something that we all need at the moment. So on Thursday is the exact summer solstice, Thursday evening in the UK, and this is at 9:51 p.m. London time, the exact summer solstice, when the sun enters the sign of Cancer. Now, the solstice means the sun stands still, and when the sun is at the peak, it appears to stand still for 3 days. And it's like a pause to reflect. It's a time to revel in the solar light, the solar codes, the solar energy, the energy of life, and through this solar gateway, the energy of the stars and the star systems and the great central sun. So this is what we're channeling, and the higher we can lift our consciousness, the more positive it's going to be for us, because it's very easy to get bogged down in problems and, you know, get sucked into more negative vortexes. But all we need to do is bring ourselves back to the present moment and meditate on that solar light, and it will lift us to where we're meant to be. It's a great time to get together with people. With the sun going into Cancer, it's all about friends and family. And family can be your blood family, of course, and it's also your soul family. So it's about getting together in groups and really celebrating togetherness and community and that loving, heart-centered connection that you have with others and what you can create with that. So the sun enters Cancer and people are getting much more in touch with their feelings and emotions. It's like we're diving into the emotional realms and the element of water. So you may feel, especially with the full moon, that you may feel emotions bubbling up for you this week as we get towards later in the week. And that's perfectly normal. You know, it's like you may feel emotional and think, what's going on with me? But it's really this, it's the way the energies are moving. So it's natural, and it's a great time also for emotional healing and doing some ceremony with holy water, going to a place, a holy well or healing spring, doing a ritual with the waters, or if you can't get somewhere like that, ritual bathing, the sea salts and essential oils, sacred herbs, roses, rose petals, because we're in the season of roses. It's a great time for emotional healing, cleansing, water rituals and healing ceremonies with water to cleanse the emotional body as we enter into this Cancer season with the Sun, Mercury and Venus all in this sign. And Cancer is a very powerful sign because it's cardinal water. It's about coming into, it's about being in charge of your emotional body and the emotional realms and not letting them control you, which is actually the hardest thing for most people to do, because it's the emotions that control people. And this is what we need to bring into balance. So it's our soul that is in charge, not our emotions, and we can always find our center. So it's a great practice, and it's a great time to experiment with that. So as we move towards the full moon is on Saturday night. The full moon in Capricorn, bringing the balance between Cancer and Capricorn, the sun in Cancer opposite the moon in Capricorn. So we have all this lovely, sensitive, nurturing energy with the Cancer energy, and then we have the full moon in Capricorn. It's the opposite sign. It's illuminating the opposite sign of fixed earth, cardinal earth, Capricorn. So Capricorn is a very pragmatic sign. It rules business. It's all about growing and building and reaching the peak of the mountain. Now, this can be a very material sign. It can be the most materialistic sign, but it can also be the most spiritual sign. So on the full moon in Capricorn, it's a great time to look at what you're building in your life and what's positive and authentic in that, what's of real spiritual value, what will you carry forward into the future, what are you building for the future, what's your legacy, you know, what are you going to create that adds value to the world and the people around you, what can you create with everything that you've learned so far in your life, all your wisdom and experience. What is your gift that you bring? What do you have to offer? And Capricorn is a sign of concretization. So there'll be an opportunity to look at how far you've come, and if you want to tweak that, and maybe new ideas will come in for something else that you could create with the people around you, or new souls that are coming in. So it's a very powerful time to really be honest with yourself and reflect on where you're going. It's a great moon for deep contemplation with the energies of spirit. So have an amazing week, everyone, and stay blessed.